All right, welcome back to the 112 Experience Show. Our guest is someone I have known for a long time. He is a former heifer stunter who saw our 25's passion, big legacy that would influence the world positively and not set the future for those he loved. Mm-hmm. He's a resident of Glenside, PA, and people that live there. He works dawn to dusk every day to build businesses that focus on inspiring the youth and the community, authentic taste, and warm welcome that makes you feel like you're at home every time you work for Dreams Doors. Mm-hmm. This man is the owner of Dreams Inc. Ice Cream for over 6 years, and ever since Dreams has employed many of the Glenside youth, he has helped build a foundation for their futures and go into other work opportunities. He has probably seen them all young adults now knowing that he has influenced their lives in such a positive way. One of the most positive examples of this is Khenan. The main works with where he worked with him 2 years ago, and now Khenan is now a cashier at Dreams. And after staying business under Lamar's wing, he will become a co-owner. This is a message of Dreams. Get a taste of your dreams. So let's welcome the founder, the owner of Dreams Ice Cream, and also new author, Mr. Lamar Smith. Hey, how are you doing, sir?
That's good, man. I appreciate that wonderful introduction.
Yes.
I had to update it. Now we're going on 10 years in a couple weeks. That's all good. Thank you. Yeah, we're going on 10 years. So I apologize for that. But no, this is why you do things like this. But man, listen, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Listen, this guy, this host, man. Listen, Levon is everything, man. He loves the youth. He always loves people, and he's living his passion, and that's why he's successful. And that's why I'm always be here for the call when I'm able to. So.
Thank you so much, man. So thank you for joining us. How was your week?
Week's been exciting. Been a lot of good things going on. Let's see, outside of what I do on an everyday basis, like owning a business, I do own some real estate. I own like a duplex in Alany. That was like my first business. Yeah. And then but this time of year, as far as the ice cream business is concerned, obviously we get a lot of inquiries about different events, parties, and everything of that nature. Birthday party celebration. We have a birthday party we're doing later on today.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's been great. And then yesterday we got a spotlight on Fox 29.
Yeah, I saw that.
The
morning show.
Yeah. So I got the call on Monday about that. About a week and a half ago, a producer came by the shop with their daughter, their lovely daughter. So shout out to Eric. He came through. I wasn't actually there, but he left his card, and then my manager told me, and then that's when I was meaning to call, and then I got a call from Belinda, the other producer. Shout out to Belinda and Hank, and everybody was there yesterday, and she's like, "You want to be on Good Day on Friday?" I said, well, let me check my schedule. Yes. So it worked out. And yeah, that's where we at. And then, like I said, I got other projects going on, being an author as well. So yeah, that's where we at. That's what we doing.
Right. So you're west of Glenside. Where's Glenside at?
Well, Glenside's right outside of Philly. My business. I guess you can say I'm a resident because I'm there all the time. But I still live in Philly where I lay my head at. But I've been in there in that space for about 10 years. So you can kind of say I claim some residence.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Glenside's right outside of Philadelphia, right outside of Mount Airy.
Okay.
West Oak Lane. Literally down the street, Arcadia University is there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to roll. She went straight down. We're right there. So we get that suburban city feel and mix it together.
Okay, so you kind of near Sheringham High School.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down the street from me. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We did work there a couple years ago.
Okay.
With Sheringham High School for the Black Student Union at the time. So I was like, listen, I know it's somewhere.
He's
so
right there. Yeah.
Okay.
He's right there. Yeah, right down the street. Yeah.
Okay, so what was it like for you growing up in Glenside?
Well, again, I'm from Philly.
So
I'm from Philly. So I grew, like I said, West Oak Lane uptown. So growing up in West Oak Lane was cool. It was looked at cool as one of the better neighborhoods in the city. But it's got its hood aspects. There were different gangs. We had FTC, we had HRM, But where my block was, I was kind of neutral between both. So for me, and I knew people from both sets. So I didn't really have any static like that, to be honest with you, with them. But I knew what they were doing. And that's what big reason why I would play. I played a lot of basketball coming up, and I was good. So when you're good in the hood, people respect you.
Right.
So listen, I know what they did. I know what they did. Yo, they see me. What's up, Lamar? Boom. He going to the court. He going to Simons. He going to Sven. He going to play the ball. So that's how it was with me. So, but it was cool. It was cool growing up. You know what I'm saying? And it actually, you know, where we. It was like it was kind of like a village, like, you know, your other parents looking out for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was good. We had that, and but it made us, you know, it made us tight. We got to see actual real men on the block, like our block captain. Shout out to Mr. Dave Maddox. He's always pick up trash. Like what you know, go down the street. They ain't on the block. You just need to see positive aspects of that, you know, and they should just and now, you know, I got my own. Man, I'm taking my bag by the trail. Oh, I know where I got it from. The seed was planted. You know what I mean? So,
right. It's about seed.
Yeah. So it was cool. You know, like I said, it wasn't extremely dangerous, but it had dangerous parts, and but it was cool. You know, uptown is where it's at. So shout out to West Oakland. Yeah.
All right, so now you work in Glenside. So
yeah.
What made you decide to own an ice cream business?
That is a wonderful question. So Levon, I used to be an environmental health specialist. So I went to Westchester. Shout out to Westchester. Yes! Golden Ram.
Okay, you graduated then?
Yeah, 07. Yeah,
okay.
07. Yeah, 07 I graduated.
I graduated in 04.
Yeah. But I was back. But here's the thing: you probably, if like I said, we know a lot of the same people. So, I was at Lincoln, right?
Okay.
From 2002 to was it 04 about 04? But I used to come to Westchester to do the summer program because the free room and board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I connected with a lot of cats like Shane and you know what I mean?
Mike,
you know what I mean? Mike, and like us and everybody, and Byron, a couple other cats.
Byron.
That's how I connected with them, and I saw how cool and genuine they were. So I was like, you know what, man, this is a cool vibe. And Lincoln, the only reason why I left Lincoln, they had administration issues, meaning like I had a radio show. It was called The Red Pill, so it was me, my homie Darnell at the time, and Christy. So we had a show called The Red Pill. So we would come on in the morning, like The Red Pill from the Matrix, you know what I mean? Telling the truth, you know, so we would tell the truth. And it was a hot show, so, you know, I would always get up, you know, I would be the first hour was my hour.
Gotcha.
8 o'clock hour, I had to get everybody out of bed, so boom, we always start with the gospel song. And then whatever was hot, in the clubs, get up, because I'm trying to get you up. Go to class.
Right.
So that's how we did it. And then 9 o'clock hour was Christy's hour. She would do like a neo soul. That was her way to like slow it down a little bit, bring it back. And then I you know, we talked about. I said we should have a new segment, but not like just like you talking about entertainment. We gotta have news that's like appealing to just black people in the black school. You know what I mean? What really affects us. And then the third hour, Darnell would come on, and then he would do like the old school and the reggae. So it blended in well. You know what I mean? It blended in well. We had a new hip hop, and we had the R&B, the neo soul, and it was throw down the news, and it was fun. And then, you know, so it was some good things going on. But the reason why I brought that up because we got to see behind the scenes what was going on at Lincoln. And I don't know if you ever heard of the Barnes Foundation. It's in the city. It's in the city now.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Barnes Foundation is Barnes was a white man. I forget his first name, but he was a white gentleman. And long time ago, when people would come from Europe to settle over here in Pennsylvania, instead of paying him money, Barnes said, "Give me a painting. So give me like a Van Gogh or give me like a Magellan Picasso." So what he did, he took all these collections of paintings that were exclusive, and then he would he put it and made it the Barnes Foundation. So in his will before he passed, he was like, "Listen, I want Lincoln University to have it," because he knew it was going to piss the racist white people off. So he's like, "I want Lincoln to have it," and had this structure. So when I was at the school, I actually got a chance to see it because it used to be off of Wynwood Road when you're coming off of City Line Avenue. I had a professor that she was very passionate about about art. And she's like, listen, y'all gotta go see this. Da, da, da. Amazing paintings. And then my economic teacher, Dr. Roundos, he was like, yo, we need to move that up here because the city is trying to take it. You know what I mean? And that's when Rendell was the governor and they wanted to put in the city as a tourist thing. But pretty much the long thing short, what happened with that was because Dr. Roundos, like I said, if we bring this up Lincoln, put it across the street because it was vacant land, we build businesses around, that could be $1 billion impact. That means the future students can come to school for free. You know what I mean? Because this is always going to draw business. And I saw that, and I just saw how the administration was. And then, long story short, they ended up selling. They ended up overturning the will. You know, there had to be money involved.
Right.
Because the family still wanted Lincoln to have it.
Yeah.
But the boards just, you know, they got the money and sold it for like $180 million to 5 new buildings. That's why Lincoln got the football team back.
Okay.
At the time they were talking about it, and so that it turned me off because I'm like, it's one thing that we have other coaches doing things to us, but we're doing this to ourselves. And I was just like, man, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up going to Westchester. Yeah.
Right, okay.
From there, and then I was like, man, I'm cool. So and then that's when I transferred into Westchester. Like I said, I just missed you. I switched majors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But love to see you. Love it up there. So yeah. That's how it happened. Yeah.
Did you know some of that Greg Corbin at Lincoln?
Yeah.
He was
You kidding me? That's my guy. Mr. Poet for everybody knew it was, man. GC. Shout out to Greg, man. Shout out to Art. Shout out to my man Art. That's still my guy today.
Yeah.
So
they should have BSU expressions every first Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
Greg would come down there to perform. I'm
Absolutely.
like,
Greg was amazing, man.
Yeah, Greg.
It wasn't no surprise that that poetry. I knew that was him in his lane, man. So I'm proud to see his growth too.
Yeah. So what made you start ice cream business, guys?
Yeah. So from then when I graduated from Westchester, I graduated with a degree in public health. Right. So I didn't know anything about health inspection. So I had a professor, and he worked with the health department in Montgomery County. He was like, "Hey, listen, they got an internship. You wanna go out for it?" And I said, "Cool, it sounds good." He said, "They pay." I said, "Sign me up." They pay too. All right, talk to me. Yeah. So I went and I got the internship interview. Well, at the time I was taking 2 classes down at CCP, like intense class. I think it was like chemistry and like something else. And I was like, man, I can't. They wanted me to go to Pottstown. I was like, damn, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. You know what I mean? So I respectfully declined. I'll see you next year. You know what I mean? So I had to focus on, sometimes in life you gotta make sacrifices, even if for the long term. So they understood, and then the following year came around when I graduated, and I had got everything together. I mean, I was in the career center in Westchester, and I was talking to this gentleman, white gentleman. He was off the hook too, good guy. I forget his name. Kind of bald, but he really loved helping students, and I was in there getting the resume and all that together, and I got a call from my supervisor. She's like, "Hey, Lamar," because I sent out my resume in this binder. It was different. I sent it out like in a binder, and it had all the plastic paper. You put the paper inside. I had that thing looking sharp. It wasn't like I just sent something. They were like, "Oh, this guy, we got to talk to this guy." And I went in there and I did my thing. And so I was the only black male in the department.
Wow.
Yeah, it was my mentor Kelly. She was in shout out to Kelly. She was in Norristown, and so I worked at the Willow Grove office. So Montgomery County has over 800,000 people. It's huge. So you got Norristown is the central location. That's like headquarters, and then you got Pottstown and Willow Grove as the satellite offices. So we would we would inspect restaurants from Cheltenham to Hatfield.
Gotcha. Okay.
So as I was inspecting, this is going back in 2008. Spot called Glendine's Ice Cream. So I went in there. I actually had to shut them down. It wasn't like it was crazy bad, nothing like that. They just needed a bigger water heater.
Okay.
I needed 30 gallon.
Oh.
They had 20.
Ooh.
So I was so that was within the new code ranges. So what I did is I went and I was training somebody, and I took her through the process, and then she ended up she ended up learning because we had to come back because we shut down on a Friday. It was in September, so that Monday was Labor Day. So we're as the office we were off. So I'll come back Tuesday, open you up. But the gentleman at the time, he wasn't invested in there. He was just like, it was just a business. He had some teenagers in there. He would have children in there. So he was a bartender in the Flower Town area. So he was like, man, I'm not really interested. So when I tried to come back and open him up, he's like, no, don't worry about it, Lamar. We'll just close down for the season. We'll be good. I'm like, you sure? You got 6 more weeks out. Warm weather. You sure? He's like, oh, fine. So yeah. Following year came around. I inquired about because we have all the information. I said, you know, what you gonna do with his name is Phil Lynch. So rest in peace. He just passed about a year ago. And so I was like, Mr. Lynch, I said, I'm interested. Like, what do you want to do with it? And he was like, well, I'm gonna give it to my son and my daughter. So all right. I said, well, keep me in mind. Still didn't open up. Following year, I drove him and I said, hey, called him again, Mr. Lynch, Lamar, what are you gonna do with it? Oh, I'm gonna give it to this lady. I said, all right, cool. Keep me posted. Following year, it never opened. Following year, I just forgot about it. I'm driving, get a call from his daughter. I said, this is Lamar. I said, yeah, this is Phil Lynch's daughter. I said, hey, how you doing? She said, listen, my dad wants to sell it to you. So I said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, what's the price? She told me the price. I said, what? It was that affordable. It was like, are you serious? It was like a blessing, man. Out of the sky, it was like pretty much what she did. And I'm gonna tell you this, because it's a lesson in it. It was like he just wanted me to take over the lease. I didn't have. You can keep the equipment in there, do whatever you want with it. He asked me to do something with some previous vendors that he was dealing with. So tell him I'm gonna pay him, and then it's yours.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I knew like it was mine. So from then on, that's when I was like, okay. Now here's the other issue. Now I'm a government worker, and I own a facility, so they kind of look at that as like conflict of interest.
Oh, so you're the government. You can't really own business because you're
in that county
because you're health
exactly.
Oh.
You see what I mean, Levine?
So yeah, shoes. Yeah.
All right. So what I did though, listen, I really feel that. And listen, I don't recommend everybody do this, but I just feel like when you live in America and you know what our ancestors have done to build this country, do whatever, like why wouldn't you allow people to do that? I would never inspect my own place. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I know what it needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was running it. I had some business partner. One of the business partners was taking advantage of that, knowing that. And then that's why that person and I are not the business partners to the day. So, but it happens in life. You live and you learn. I stuck in there. I had a vision. It's called Dreams. So, like some reason, my name is Dreams. Dream of mine had this type of business. Dr. King had a dream for all of us to thrive and strive. People and kids dream of ice cream. What's your dream? So it's a movement. It's deeper than ice cream.
Right.
So we really come up here. You check out the Cloud 9 shirt. It's a derivative of the clothing that we have for the actual business. And like that's how that happened. And and then from then on I just started to build it up. It took time. Like when you start in a business, you gotta take your lumps. You gotta rob Peter to pay Paul, rob Paul to pay Peter back. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's like you just gotta do what you gotta do. But it happened. And and then we got to the point to where we are today. And then I was officially done with the health department in 2017. I got injured on the job.
Okay.
And in 2014, I was in the attic. I was doing this inspection. Fell through, hurt my shoulder, my neck. They were doing some things they weren't supposed to, as far as like telling me to. They told me to be on light duty, but then I was supposed to do my physical therapy. My physical therapy was supposed to be done at a different time as my lunch. They had me doing it on my lunch break.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's wrong. And I told my like, I don't think this is right. She's like, that's what they told me. I hear you, but that's what they told me. So they knew they dropped the ball, and then pretty much they arranged a settlement. 2.5 years later, 3 years later, they arranged a settlement, and then that's how I got out of there. So yeah. So I got a bag. It wasn't big. It wasn't little. It was a bag, but it was like, God was telling me like, yo, it's time to swim. You had your feet in the water already for a long time. Sometimes you gotta take that faith. And it was kind of scary that my daughter in 2015, and it was God gave me like this. I was up in there like, man, on paper it looked good. I got a rental property, I got a business, I got a career, and I said, but my bank account wasn't really reflecting that. And I was like, God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm better taking care of myself. He was like, listen, trust me, just have your daughter. I'm gonna make sure everything is good. You won't ever have to work for anybody else. And at the time, I didn't. I just went on faith. You know what I mean? And at that time, my daughter, mom and I had real issues. Because I felt I was set up, but that's another issue. But that's facts. But we good. We good though now. Yeah, she a blessed. She's supposed to be here. But I put it this way. She's an OBGYN nurse.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just leave it at that. So. But shout out to my daughter, Mom. She good. She's come a long way, and I definitely celebrate her. You know what I mean? She's good. We good. We had a good place. You know what I mean? So
so you basically the business people, you got favor, you got blessed.
Yes.
Then you got a job, got the settlement. Now you decided, okay, on faith, I'm gonna run this business.
Absolutely.
So how did you get the young people involved? I see it about Khenan. How did you get the young people involved working at
Yeah, absolutely. Khenan, he was pretty much lived up the street from the business.
Okay.
And I'm telling everybody about persistence because you even heard what I said about how I got the ice cream shop. I kept following up. What's going on? It's fortunate to follow up. I know people might have heard that before, that term, but it is. You follow up. People, hey, listen. So he would come in, and I had a staff already, and he's looking for a job. I said, nah, I'm fine. I'm a scrawny kid with glasses. I'm like, I'm cool. Thank you, though. I appreciate you coming in. A couple of months later, he came, hey, listen, I said, nah, I'm sorry. I don't have no for you, Especially when you start out, you got to be real careful on payroll, and I do this, and I do that. So not like I didn't think he was talented. He didn't fit in the budget at the time. So, the following summer he came in and he brought two of his homies with him, two of his best friends, and I'm like, they were so dynamic, dude. I was like, yo, I gotta find something for them. They looking for something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They're looking for something. So at the time I was working with this gentleman by the name of Chef Bernard, and he had this lemonade stand he wanted to put up in my ice cream shop. So I said, that's fine. And then that's how that ended up working out. Unfortunately, Chef was doing some things that wasn't cool, like for us how he was paying them. And, because I was like a separate entity, but I looked at it like, it's still on my business, going to reflect me.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but shout out to Dan, John, and Khenan, because, they weren't like the normal teenagers you heard at that time. You know what I mean? And they were just happy-go-lucky kids looking for something. And then we were able to provide that environment. So when I tell people, and I interview people, I said, when you come to work here, you're not necessarily working for me, you're working with me.
Right.
So I'm going to teach you things that I learned. And because I want you to have your own one day. I want you to be able to explore that and be able to, say, listen, the world is yours. The only reason why a lot of us have that fear is because we don't have that education behind it, and we don't have that environment to encourage that. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, you're gonna do. So that's what we do. And then so Khenan, it's look like Khenan, but it's Khenan actually. But so Khenan, he was just like, hey, listen, he was a sponge. He just soaked everything in. I saw his ambition, and his ambition was firing me up. Like, okay, and that's how we kind of came in and about. John is still with me today. John is my top manager. Mm-hmm. He did 4 years in the military and came right back. And now his younger sister works with me because she just came from Haiti. I got a couple high school students that work for me, so it's cool. You know what I mean? We create a family environment there, but that's how the youth got involved. They're attracted to what we bring because it doesn't even feel like work. It's like we just having fun,
right?
You know what I mean? We're just here to support each other, and they get it. They understand my mission, and that's why they come back. Yeah.
So how do you get funded for the ice cream and stuff? How do you get funded? How do y'all pick the flavors?
Absolutely. So me that's the advantage of being a health inspector. So I'm in the industry. So if I always wanted to own the readers, by the way. So they lined up. But when I would talk to the readers owners, I would say, I'm inspecting them. And the cool thing about it is like when you're a health inspector, you're in the inside. So you get what people don't get out there. So I'm talking to the owners like, oh yeah, this is how much it costs. I said, well, how much readers cost you gotta have? You gotta have, even if your credit score is 800, you gotta have a $400,000 liquid cash. I was like, oh, well, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's how that came about. And so interviewing different people, helped me be in there. But how did I get it? Like just doing other ice cream shops. And then I saw this other company that a lot of people don't use. They're in the Lancaster area called Trinity Ice Cream Group, and they just they were the ones who put me on, showed me what it is. Because the building is only 400 square feet. That's why we don't make the ice cream there. You can walk in, but we don't make it there because it's so small. So we had to have a supplier that gives that. So we team up with supplier. But all the fancy Sundays and the creative things that we do, that's how we've gotten to where we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it's about to be 10 years?
10 years, May 26.
Oh, wow. Wow, man. Around the corner, right?
Around the corner.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Are y'all thought about going, y'all thought about expanding?
Yeah,
expanding, but also getting new space?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great question. That's a great question. So what I do know, there's a building behind us. But what I do know is the owners want to build 60 apartments. So I'm not sure what the future, because my building sits in the front. I'm not sure the future of our building. But they said they're going to have retail space underneath it. So we may move to the back. If not, I'm already setting myself up for the exit. It's out of my control because I don't own the building. You know what I mean? See what I mean? Okay. So but I'm there at least until 25.
2 years.
Yeah. So beginning of 25. So expansion. We got offers to go down to Jersey Shore. We got offers doing other things. But
that's very
it's
summertime.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Here's the thing though. It's a great opportunity, right? From April to September.
Right. Yeah.
Then after that. See what I mean? So even the money that you may make out of that, if you're under the lease, October, November, December, January, February, March still has to be paid monthly, and them rents are not cheap up there. See what I mean? So what you make is gonna go right outside the window. A lot of people don't eat ice cream exactly in the fall up there, because you know what I mean. And even if you had a delivery service, it wouldn't be as predominant. Yeah. So that's why you gotta. Sometimes people stretch themselves too thin, and I've seen that in business too. Like I said, being a health inspector, I learned a lot talking to business owners, managers, different people all type from the world. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all right, be smart about the strategic move. So if it happens, it got to be strategic. We also got an offer last, I believe it was last. last. Let me think. It was last. Like around like Septemberish, about going down to Old City. So that's another opportunity that, again, just being smart. Right now, I caretake for my father as well. So it's not all, when you caretaking for somebody, it's a lot of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's another challenge that I'm facing. But I'm doing a lot better with it, It's an assignment, so you gotta, when I was fighting it, that's what makes it harder. Because I haven't had a great history in the past. But I love him, that's my guy. But,
right.
You just, when you're dealing with a narcissistic spirit and person, you know what I mean? They just see their way and they don't see no other way. And that's why, again, I named my ice cream spot Dreams because my pop he defected one of my dreams when I was in high school. So, I'll touch on that a little bit.
Right.
It's in one of my other books, but so I'm a lot older than probably think I am since we entertain time frame when it comes to schooling. So I actually had the opportunity to play with Kobe Bryant at Lower Marion.
What?
Yes. So my aunt lived.
Wait. You played with Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, well, I played with him in Sunny Hill. But I was going to play with him at Lower Marion. Yeah. This is like the story of my life. This is why Dreams is named Dreams, man. Because my dad did not believe in my dreams. Yeah.
It's crazy. I was watching that show on Sundays called Channel 17, Philadelphia Sports Scholastic or something.
Yeah.
I first saw Kobe was on that show.
Yeah, he was. That's my first album. Yeah.
So where you went to?
I went to George Washington. Now look, you gonna trip on this. When I was
Yep,
he was there. So two of the most iconic people I've been around in my life. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Kev was.
So how was it basketball?
Kev.
I'm
gonna tell you something.
What you said is true.
Kev was alright. He wasn't great.
Okay.
But he wasn't no bum. He wasn't
no bum. Okay.
Listen, after high school, we played at the Roxborough Y in the league.
Okay.
Right? So Kev, Kev was alright. Kev was always who he was, you know what I mean? So shout out to Kev doing this thing. But yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you this great story about Kobe. I tell people this.
Okay.
Right? And I'm gonna save it for a later book too, more of it. But so since I was this is 95, so I'm coming to the practices, right? I already contacted Coach down there, just before really email was power. I'm a personal dude. I wrote him a personal letter to my situation.
Right. Yeah.
Come on down. It was like late October. And so I come down and he's like, he talked to me, he's like, we had a phone conference to get my phone number. He's like, it'd be a great opportunity. Kobe's on his last year. Everybody wants to see him. You know what I mean? Yada. So I'm hyped, like, oh man, da. So I come down there and I walk through in the gym, right? Because George Washington was a decent sized school. But the cleanliness of when you go to Lower Marion, you like, yo,
this is a whole different.
Yo, you up there like, I'm in the bathroom like, yo, this is nice, girl. Ain't no graffiti in here, no weed, no, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you see in the public school.
Clean smell.
Yeah, clean smell. Like, seriously, you like, I can live in here. I'm looking around. So I go, soon as I go in the hallway to the gym, I'm at the water fountain. And I hear somebody rapping Daz Effects. But don't stop. I look up and it's cold.
Wow.
He gave me the head nod. I'm like, hey, what up, Cole? Like, what up? Had the trick, went right to the back and changed. So I don't know if this was the same thing. I'm in like 4 or 5 different practices, but again, I couldn't participate because I wasn't at the school yet, so for liability issues. But I'm there, you know what I mean, and so he's on a So they got the courts and they got like a stage, kind of like the schools were. They got like a stage and they got the courts. And so at the practice, he was upset because teammates was elbowing him. So he's like, Coach, man, he said, man, tell these MFers to stop elbowing him. He's like, yo, I don't like that. So it wasn't Coach Down. I think this was his brother, Coach Down, a brother, coach on the team. Right. So shout out to Greg Down. He's a good dude. And so he was coach was like, he's putting the balls away. He's like, man, Kobe, that's why you need to work on your jump shot. And you ain't got to worry about no elbows. And Kobe's like, what? He's like, you think I don't got no jump shot? He's like, listen, just keep working on your jump shot. He said, well, then play me. He's like, man, I ain't going to play you. He's still putting the balls in the back. Boom. He said, play me then. I'm not going to play you. And Kobe threw the ball at his back. Not hard, but just enough, like, yo, check ball. And Coach like, all right, man. So he was about like, if I had to guess his age at the time, probably like 28, 29.
Okay.
So check Kobe the ball, let's make it take it, checks him the ball. He had like 8 in a row. Looked at me and winked at me. And he said, yo, I thought I ain't had no jump shot. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, we dealing with somebody different. This is I seen it before Phil. I seen it before Shaq. I seen it before Jerry West drafted him. I was like, wow. This dude is, but I'm telling you, one of the coolest dudes.
He said my sister got. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
that was great, but we should have got this.
Yeah, that's why he took it to heart.
Right.
He was fine. He was like similar to Jordan. Like, he'll find anything to motivate them. Right? But he loved Philadelphia.
Yeah, they ain't take him.
Yeah. People don't think, they like, oh, he went to Cali, and he said he gonna cut our hearts out. And that's what he's supposed to say. Y'all ain't, you ain't picking. You know what I mean? That's what the people come like, oh, how's he supposed to say? We're supposed to say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna just let them know. He's a competitor.
He was right there in that building.
Right. Listen, people don't really give him props to this. One of the few people like LeBron to actually win a championship in the city. People don't really talk about that. And the following year, he followed up with the MVP in the All-Star game. Right? And remember, the crowd was booming.
Yeah.
Kobe was in tears. That hurt him. He loved Philadelphia, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, a lot of people don't know, like, this dude was, like, on some, like, some real hype stuff and was, like, a good dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's sad you got older. He's like, he's a really good dude. After he retired, he's a really good dude.
He really
they gave him that. Damn. I'm like,
they saw the cockiness, like,
why?
They're like, oh, he cocky. Like, yo, y'all don't know this man. You know what I mean? And when I say he truly loved ball, like, he truly loved ball. So he leave lower man practice and go play against sisters. That's it. That was a life of ball. He already had he had a nice Jeep in high school too. It wasn't about money. It was, he had the Land Cruiser Jeep, Range Rover he had back then. And he was just like just regular, man. But shout out to everybody on the team. Emery, with the point guard. Shout out to Omar Hatcher. These guys pulled me in. Like, I was just coming to practice, like, yo, Lamar, da, 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 da. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like good dudes. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So my soul, man, it hurt my soul to see what happened. My dad wouldn't let me go. He believed in me. Oh my God, man, it just tore me up, man. And I thought about running away from home, man. I'm saying, like, yo, most kids don't want to go to school. I'm trying to go to a school that's better for me academically and athletically. And I wanted to go back a year because in my 11th grade year, I skated by, man. I skated by grades. So I need to go back, man, do this 1 year over, so they can prepare me for college. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, LeVon, man, that's yeah, man, it gets deep. But I'm gonna put more on my experiences with him. The last time I seen him though was when they played Roman Catholic.
Okay.
That year, so it was a big thing, huge deal. Because Donnie Carr, you remember him?
Donnie Carr, yeah, he was the song, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it was him versus Donnie Carr. I'm at the game, right?
What Palestra?
It was at the Palestra or
Hershey.
Not Hershey. It was in the city. It was
Temple?
It was at LaSalle.
Okay.
It was at LaSalle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at LaSalle. Yeah. I remember it made sense because Jelly Bean was coaching at LaSalle.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I'm here. Everybody who was anybody.
What's there?
What?
What's there?
You had Arthur Davis. Shout out to Lynn Greer was behind me. Jerry Stackhouse Asian was behind me. Because they talk, like, I'm hearing people talk I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Shout out to Red. Sean Red Smith was there. Red's a big crowd. Who Red's for? Went to Gratz. Rashid. Everybody was there. But they was hating on Cole.
Oh, wow.
So, because y'all and Donnie played, but y'all had went to Frankfurt. He transferred to Frankfurt.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And dealing with his grades. But what happened was, they was all like, oh, F. Kobe, man, he think Jordan, he ain't this, that, da, 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 da. He was getting it from all. Emery couldn't play that day for Lower Marion because he was doing some academic ability stuff. Man, it was a dope game. He was going at bang, Cardani come in, bang. So it made it look like he was shooting on Kobe. He was playing 2-3, but Donnie would pass to who was ever the top, and Cole had to step up, and it's too late. You know what I mean? So it looked like he, in Cole's face. So, but pretty much from there, because I'm watching the game, I'm hot, like, oh man, if I was out there, I ain't gonna say I'd stop Donnie, but I'd have been, you know what I mean? I'd have made it look, you ain't gonna do that. And I came back at him too, but it was a great time, man. And then after the game, I ran into the manager. Shout out to the boy, his dark skin. I forget his name. He's like, yo, what's up? You come in? I was like, nah, Pop won't let me. He's like, what? Oh man, he's like, yo, you wanna come to the locker room? I was like, yeah, it's a locker room. Go down there. Omar come up to me like, yo, you come Omar? I'm like, nah, but Pop. Coach Down was already hot on losing. He looked at me, turned around like, I was like, I know Coach, I'm trying to convince this dude, yada, 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 like. So me and O just started, talking. Team is down, they just lost. I think they lost like 8 or something like that. And then, me and O talking, and Coach see me, he's like, oh, yo, what up? I was like, yo, he was down. Cole don't like to lose. So he was like, damn, I said, Cole, listen, man, you did your thing, cuz. I said, don't worry. You know what I mean? Donnie had 36, Kobe had 33. And he was like, I was like, don't worry about, what happened. Just continue to do your thing. And then he was like, I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? I said, yo, just, just keep doing it. And it's funny, so he goes outside of the locker room. Omar and I still talking. Then we come out the door, and it's like all the media. We like, oh, you know what I mean? Because they interviewing Kobe.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. Crazy times, man. So, yeah, I'll tell one thing in my life, man, LeVon, it's not boring. I've been around people. Wow. I've been around people. I've been, like I said, Cole, Kevin Hart. I was a JG story. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't get to show one time. So talk about the book you had.
Yeah. So the hemp store, shout out to Carolyn Wilson, right? That's all.
Carolyn Wilson.
Yeah, Carolyn. What up? Actually met Carolyn at your event years ago when we had the books. We dropped the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember that? We was up in Broad Street, Allen.
Yeah. Oh, they
yeah.
Poetry joke.
Yeah, poetry joke.
Yeah.
Man, we've been cool ever since. So she wanted to come up and put a collection of men on the books, and it's called Hemp Story.
Oh, wow.
And so we just got together, and I left the book right in the car, so I brought it with me. But and we just got together, got vulnerable with the pen. A lot of people say men don't get, we don't become vulnerable and talk about issues that we had. And so, yeah, the HIM is honored, intelligent, and mature men. That's what we stand for, HIM. So, came together, and so everybody has a chapter.
Okay.
It's like a collab book for people who don't know. A collab book is like having a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Like an anthology?
No. Yeah, it's anthology.
Okay.
Anthology, yeah. So the people don't know it's an anthology, but that's how it is. Like having a mixtape. You get on here, this person got a chapter, you got a chapter. And so my chapter is called Father versus Son, Son versus Father. And so you see with some of the things that I dealt with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And so now that I have to caretake for the person who didn't believe in me, and that's hard. It was a lot easier now, but a lot of times in life you just don't know. You know what I mean? But you have to follow the path that God leads you to.
Yeah.
And you gotta have faith in that. And it was tough, man. Some tough times, man. Some nights of crying, feeling pain, not understanding why. It's crazy. I'm gonna tell you something now, and again, it's symbolic, and again, I'm gonna just because I don't want to ruin my future book. I got a future book that's gonna have like Kobe and it's a lot of my references experiencing meeting him and another prominent artist that's passed away too. Like they were like the influence, but their lives are actually similar.
Right.
But I'll get into that later. When we come and invite me on again, I'll tell you.
Oh, definitely will.
Yeah. So anyway, Kobe. So this is one time. Like I got invited to a Sixers game out the blue. This one Sixers trash. Stackhouse rookie year. Vernon Maxwell. Yo, shout out to Vernon Maxwell. Shout out Vernon Maxwell. Let me tell you something. I bet Vernon Maxwell down 16 successful here at the game. I couldn't believe it. He walking down just a straight hook. Well, you can tell. I'm like, what are you doing down here? Well, like, yo, young boy, let me see that ball. Like, I gave him the rock, started shooting threes. Man, he up in the crowd. And smoking black. I'm like, this guy, I can't believe it. This Vernon Maxwell. Like, he won a championship last year. That's the wildest thing. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's the 16 Susquehanna. Shout out to my man, old Majestic Ken. Shout out to old Majestic Ken too, my man Ken too. I went to Washington with him. His dad ran the 16th, the 16th Street basketball dream, and he was a good dude. Like so that league brought everybody there. Mm-hmm. Like so at the time, and I know you a ball. I know you love ball. A lot of the world does not give Philadelphia its props. Did you know in the 90s going into 2000s, we sent more pros than anybody in this country. In this country. We'll talk about later, but I'm talking about, I can name my food. Sheed, Cole, Aaron McKee, Doug Overton, Pooh Richardson, Pooh Allen, Jerome Allen, Big Mark Jackson, like the Sixers, you know what I mean? Malik Rose.
Bo Kimball.
Yeah, Bo Kimball. Yup. That's that. I mean, like, yo, we had my man. He went to LaSalle. Short dude, nice too.
The Southwest Philly, Florida.
No. My man, no. Randy Woods.
Oh wait, okay.
Yeah, Randy Woods.
Okay.
Lionel Simmons. That's 11 right there. I'll take that 11. That's 11 right there. It's more. You know what I mean? But it's, we had, we had him. And so and there's a couple of cats, Lynn Gray ended up going later on, and you know what I mean, other people, you know what I'm saying? Like but I couldn't invite to the Sixers game, they trash. I'm like, yo, I was like, my brother's friend was like, yo, just come to the game with me, yada yada. Shout out to Marlo, it's my brother. It's my hero, it's my king, 5 years older than me. But he was at Penn State at the time, and he was trying to vouch for me to go Lower Marion too. And my dad still didn't want to listen to him anyway. So I get invited by his friend Mike Gaskins. I'm like, yo, come to the game, man. I run into Omar from Lower Marion, right? Mm-hmm. No, Jermaine. Sorry, Jermaine. I run into Jermaine. So I'm running Jermaine. I'm like, yo, man, what up? I said, yo, congratulations. I already won a state championship at this time. It's April, season about to end. I'm like, right. What up? I said, what's good? He's like, oh, man, da-da-da-da. So as I'm talking to him, I see Jelly Bean and Pam in the distance. I see Cole's parents. I'm like, yo, I see Kobe here. Kobe here. He's like, yeah, he around here somewhere. Now, Maine didn't tell me why they was there. So I'm like, all right, boom, I go sit there. Don't you know at halftime, man, they announced the whole Lower Marion team. I'm in here like tears. Because I'm like, God, what is you telling me? Am I supposed to be here? How did I get invited to this random game? This random game. Don't know what's going to happen. They playing Miami Heat, so I was hyped because Tim Hardaway, one of my favorite point guards of all time. You know, I get to see Zoe. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, they announced everybody. Of course, they made Kobe Bryant. I'm just tearing. I'm like, I should be out there. Is that what you're telling me? That's why I got invited to this joint. like, yeah, man. So when I do that, so that's gonna be a continuation. When I do that book, when you pray for something, right, and like you may not get the answer a week, 6 weeks, 6 months, 10 years. I got the answer, and it's deep, and it took 24 years. And what was Kobe's number?
24.
There you go. So I'm gonna continue that when I write that book. It's gonna be crazy, yeah. But yeah. So.
All right, so I don't remember on time.
I'm cool, but whatever. I'm still good right now.
Yeah, yeah. So you do a lot. So what do you do with self-care?
You know what? That's a great question. For self-care, man. Honestly, I do a lot of praying. I still hoop. I play ball. I love it. It's such a great game, and I met a lot of people through it. I read. I learn. Obviously, raising a daughter is always fun. Just making sure she good. I would see those things like praying, reading, working out, playing ball, being active, talking. I realized that, and writing books is therapy too. You put it out there, it's therapy. Right. Everybody has a book in them, right? Yeah. Books, for real, depending on how long you live. And that's performing therapy for me as well. So it really helps me, continue to be myself. We're not perfect. We all gonna fall short. We all gonna. But just try to be excellent. You know what I mean? And that's what I strive. I don't strive for perfection. I strive for excellence, and to be the best that I can be. And I work at it, and I love working at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's next for you?
You know what? I always people say sky's the limit, but there's outer space. So I always say there's no limit, including the sky. Just to continue to just be the best at my titles that I have in life. So I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a leader, I'm a brother and homie to a lot of people, and got a lot of homies. So I just like maximizing my potentials and my titles, being an entrepreneur, being just elevating every status, and that way I can continue to give back and grab people and elevate them one at a time. We can't say the world that's Jesus' job. We gotta do our part, right?
We gotta do our part.
Yeah, that's all we can. Keep pulling them in and do what we can, as long as people want to hear the message and want to be on the message, and just and live like that.
What advice would you give to younger Lamar?
Ah, man, good question. Wow. You know what? I would say to my younger Lamar, I'd be like, listen, I was in an environment where it wasn't a lot of confidence building, right? My mom had low self-esteem. Shout out to my mom, she passed away in 2020. Know she in a better place. So I love Miss Lamar Smith. But she showed me a godly love. But she lacked that confidence too. Until like her later years. My dad didn't have much self-esteem. So I would just say, listen, just believe in yourself ultimately. I had everything from basketball to game wise, right? I'm not the tallest dude in the world, but I had my quickness was crazy, my handle, had a good shot, but it was just the confidence from that I lacked consistently. That's why. But I think these opportunities that was happening to me was slapping me down, and I wasn't able to be as resilient as quickly as I should at the time. I just didn't understand. I'm trying to figure myself out. You know what I mean? Just trying to understand how I figured this out. I got a lot of stuff going on at home. My brother went away to Penn State College, on campus. So I was left in an environment between my mom and my dad. And I knew it was like emotional drama going on. I'm like, man, I don't like this. Because my brother was just him and I, we can just feed off each other. We know that's going on, but we don't. You know what I mean? We know my parents and I struggling. We be like, their relationship was like, we just trying to enjoy each other and understand being brothers to each other. So I would just say be confident, be strong, continue to believe in yourself, and definitely continue to believe in God, because that's what I did. I wouldn't be here. I would be in a straight jacket, or I would be 6 feet deep, or in the south. So, yeah.
Right. And where people can find more information about your store and also the books.
Yes, the books, you can go to relentlesslamar.com, RELENTLESS Lamar.com. Go there and inquire about it. That's my website. For Dreams Ice Cream is www.dreamsice dreamsicecream.com. Again, I'm on gram at I am Relentless Lamar. And also the business is dreams_IC. I have a YouTube channel I'm building up slowly. It's at Relentless Lamar. And yeah, you know what I mean? You can find me on those platforms and yeah, come check me out. Let's make it happen.
Lamar, thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's a great long conversation.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a part two?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because thank you for your story. Thanks for the work you're doing in the community and on that side and providing opportunities for our young people and doing the work you're doing, man. We're going to do that part two for those. Thank you for those who are watching. Like I said, wish continued success.
Thank you.
Just keep God first. We're going to connect more. We got to connect. So
yes, we do.
Partner with somebody.
Absolutely. I got to connect you with some people too, man.
Yeah, man. Because
straight buck, because he do a lot with the youth too, and I want y'all to come by.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah,
so that thank you for joining us. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the real weather outside. Be safe, y'all.
Be safe. One love.